I'm just pouring it up high because it's fun. Hey everyone, how you doing? Eric here. Today we're going to go over the basics on how to do a simple pour over for a single serving, very small dose, just a 15-gram pour over, which is perfect for basically anybody who just wants a small, reasonable, classic size cup of coffee. So let's go over it. What do you need to make a pour over? The most important thing you need for making a pour over is a pour over cone or a pour over dripper, be it this origami dripper, Kalita Wave, one of the a million versions of the Hario V60. This is the filterless, reusable kind. And of course, there's always the classic Chemex. If you want to go more advanced, you want to make a better pour over and make it easier on yourself, a scale, any scale will do, kitchen scale that can weigh in grams. You can get them for like 15, 20 bucks. They do make more advanced models going up into the hundreds that will have timers built in and are really specially tuned for coffee, but any scale will do. You need a grinder, freshly ground coffee always tastes best, and a gooseneck kettle. You can use basically almost any pour over method. The results should be the same. The real thing that you're going to have to learn to play with is your grind size. So the most important thing to note is that you want your total brew time for this 15-gram pour over to go for about 2.5 to 3 minutes. So today I'm going to be using this origami dripper. It's a cone-shaped brewer, has a nice size hole in the bottom of it. It can take several different kinds of shapes of filters, such as the Hario V60 or a Kalita Wave filter also can fit in there. That's why these are kind of a fun and cute, versatile little brewer, and they look really nice too. Today we're going to be using the Hario V60 paper. It's going to fold it down a little bit to get that annoying little flap out of the way. So one important step is to always rinse out your filter. So you got to rinse out your filter. You want to preheat your cone, preheat your vessel. You also want to rinse out some of that papery taste. Important to use freshly roasted coffee beans. Use a local roaster if you can. It's good to support local businesses. Today I'm using this coffee roasted by Sparrow's Coffee called Hoven. It's a Colombian coffee. Really nice and juicy, little tea-like, very delicate coffee. I like it a lot. So let's weigh out 15 grams. So we're grinding these beans in the fellow ode. Always make sure you dump out your rinsing water. You don't want a cup of watery coffee. Tear out my scale to 0. I'm going to pour my coffee into the dripper. Level it out a little bit. And I like to put a little divot right in the middle of the bed of coffee. Just a little divot so that when you first add your hot water, it doesn't splash all over the place. So for this recipe, I'm doing 15 grams of coffee. I'm doing the standard ratio that the Specialty Coffee Association recommends, which is for every 1 gram of coffee, 16 grams of water. So in this case, 1 to 16 ratio, we're going to go for about a 240 gram brew total. So I tear out to 0. I'm not counting for the weight of the coffee, and I'm going to pour about 20% of my water into here. So 15 grams of coffee, 20% is about 50 grams, a little less, but I'm going to go for 50 grams just for simplicity's sake. Just going to pour it very slowly and gently into that hole I made and kind of put it around. And then once I got 15 grams in there, I'm going to agitate it a little bit just to make sure there's no dry spots. Then I'm just going to let it degas or bloom for about 30 seconds. So once the 30 seconds are up, I'm going to add water. I'm going to try to basically just submerge the grounds so that the water level is just to the top of the grinds. You can carefully kind of try to incorporate any coffee that's kind of gone up on the sides a little bit. So usually for this part of the brewing, you're going to want to add 100 grams of water once you get them submerged. And now the name of the game is just to slowly add water evenly and carefully throughout the rest of the brewing process. It doesn't really matter how you do it. A slow circular motion seems to be the norm. And you're just trying to keep that water bed from going too low or too deep. Just nice and even, very slowly. And you're going to hope that your grind will allow you to finish this brewing process in about 2.5 minutes total. And that's including the blooming time. So for the second that you add water, 30 seconds to bloom, and then 2 more minutes of slowly pouring in water and then letting it drip through. So you kind of want to have a timer going, and you want to see based on how fast it's going. If it's going too fast and it's drawing down way too quickly and it takes a minute to do the thing, you know you're going to go a lot finer on your grind. If it's going too slow, you're going to go a little bit coarser. And also you'll kind of realize by taste, if it tastes very thin and watery, you know you went too coarse. If it just kind of tastes astringent and just a little bit too heavy, you'll know that you've gone too fine. All right, so that was it. That was 250 grams. I went a little bit over 240, but just because it's an even number, I don't think that 10 grams of water is going to matter too much. And now I just let it drip through, kind of keep my eye on the time and make sure that I've done a pour over well. So that's a simple pour over recipe. You can use this at home and see if it works for you. You can adjust it as you see fit, but the most important thing is that it tastes good. Okay, I'm gonna let that coffee cool for a few minutes. I'm just pouring it up high because it's fun. So the coffee's cooled a little bit. Let's see how I did. This coffee is supposed to taste very citrusy and sweet, kind of like a marmalade. It's supposed to have little hints of floral notes like violet, and also it's kind of got an underlying taste of chocolate. I think I hit all those notes. I really like this. You can make this recipe work for light roast, medium roast, dark roast, but of course you're going to want to play just to see how it works for you. But as long as you follow these simple parameters and the coffee tastes good to you, you're doing everything right. Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you need any advice finding a new coffee maker, a new grinder, new pour-over device, espresso machine, hit me up in the link below. I give advice to people on which is the best home setup for them when it comes to coffee. Also, you could like and subscribe, leave a comment, whatever. It does help me out, but that's really up to you. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a good day.